Sean here from Srkcycles.com, and we have a 2015 Triumph Daytona 675. Man, it's a gorgeous looking bike. Really nice looking bike. Let's take it for a spin. Guys, can you believe this is my job? Now this is the 675, not the 675R. Somehow the R is a little bit sportier, but I'm not really sure how. Now, like I said before, my job, or what I'm trying to do in test driving these videos is not just show you how fast I can drive on public streets. That's a horrible idea. That would be foolish. I try my best to restrain myself from doing that. My job is to show you guys that the bike runs good, what it sounds like, how it shifts good. You know, do some commentary on how it brakes. Stuff like that. Maybe pop a wheelie here and there. Now this does have the check engine light on, and I'm pretty sure that's because when I got the bike, someone had a aftermarket exhaust on, and I put the stock exhaust back on it. And you need to tell the computer it's got the factory exhaust back on it, because the exhaust valve servo, which is connected, just doesn't know. But I'll show you how good it runs. Runs very well. It's got great power. Now this is a if you don't know, if there ever was a fifth sport bike, you know, fifth main imported sport bike, well, I guess maybe Ducati, but you know, from Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Yamaha, the fifth one would be the Triumph, and with the 675. It's a great bike. Unlike all those bikes, the 675 is a triple. It's an inline 3-cylinder. It's very unique to them. Actually, another bike, the Yamaha FZ7, I think, is a triple. If you were just hopping on it and riding, you wouldn't really notice any difference. It's very smooth. You don't feel one less spark plug or anything like that. This bike is very, very nimble, very light. The 600 sport bikes are the epitome of light and nimbleness. This is what everything is compared to. These are the benchmark of light and nimble. I love these bikes. I spent a lot of time on, just in general, 600 sport bikes. This Triumph feels great. It's got good power. Why is there always a slow car in front of me? And it doesn't matter how fast he's going. He's never going fast enough. But lets me enjoy this beautiful Lancaster countryside. Someone referred to this as God's country, or something funny like that. I'm like, yeah, that's us. God's country. This thing has a red line at 15,000 RPMs. And this bike feels so at home, hitting those twisties, you know, someplace like Deal's Gap, the Dragon Tail. This bike runs good. Very smooth, has a brand new back tire. Front tire looks like it should pass inspection. And it's not worn funny or cupped or anything like that. The clutch is extremely light. I mean, it's like one finger clutch. It's like one fingernail clutch. These brakes can actually be adjusted so they sit out a little bit farther, which is how I would prefer it. One of the biggest modifications you can do to a sport bike's is, or the sport bike's brakes, is just steel braided lines. Steel braided lines, and then spend some good quality time bleeding it out. I mean, it's a huge difference. This thing's got some power. That front end popped up like in the middle of second gear. That's very impressive. This bike definitely moves. I'd love to get this thing on the track and really see what it can do. This bike's got good lines. I love the design of it. The shade of red is awesome looking. It's very light and nimble, and it's also unique, you know what I mean? Everyone's rolling up in the 4 main sport bikes, and you're rolling up in a Triumph. And the Triumph definitely holds its own amongst those other bikes. I mean, it has no problem holding its own. Guys, who knows where this bike's gonna go? This bike could get shipped somewhere. I just sold a Ultra Classic. Or the guy drove 9.5 hours away from Indiana to pick it up. He said the same thing everyone else says. He's like, this bike's in exactly the same shape you told me it was. If you check out the test drive video, you'll see exactly the shape this bike is in. I mean, it might have a few little minor, you know, scuffs or a little scratch here or there. I don't remember. The biggest thing about it was the right side of the rear rim had a bunch of nicks and scratches on it. That's all I can remember about. That was the worst thing about this bike. But it holds air and it doesn't wobble or anything like that at any speed, so. Guys, I ship bikes all over the country. I'm selling about 25. I'm hoping to hit 30 bikes this month. It's going to be a really good month, and most likely this bike is going to be one of them. This bike's going to sell quick. It's a lot of fun to ride. Very light. Very nimble. I believe it's weighing in at 412 pounds. And that was a wet weight. And the 600s keep on getting lighter and lighter. I know my track bike weighs in at just under 300 pounds, or just under 400 pounds, but it's also a track bike, so I don't have half the stuff. I don't have lights or turn signals or anything like that. So this is a very light bike. and you could definitely tell. Alright guys, just got some new shipments in, and that wraps up the video. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going. And if you like the video, thumbs up. If you like the channel, subscribe. Hey Tim.